Why are many developing countries still not benefiting from international trade? There are many reasons. A lot of progress in the reduction of tariffs has been achieved, but trade barriers often still limit access to international markets. Producers often face difficulties in exporting their goods and increasing sales. Economic growth potential and employment opportunities remain unused. A farmer in Central Asia produces apricots. At home, he can only sell his apricots for very little money because there are plenty of apricot farmers. On international markets, he could sell more apricots at higher prices. He faces two obstacles that make this difficult: different product standards and complex customs procedures. In many African countries as well, trade barriers impede economic growth. Traders in West Africa face similar challenges as those in Central Asia. Despite the existing Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS in short, trade within the region is low. The main reason is this: considerable bureaucratic hurdles for businesses who want to sell their products in neighbouring countries. For example, lengthy customs clearance procedures and difficulties in obtaining import and export licenses. Taken together, these small obstacles drive up the costs for a product, so trade no longer pays off. Trade measures regulate the movement of goods and services across borders. This includes more than just the payment of customs duties. Border inspections also check whether a good is allowed to enter a market in order to protect consumers and to ensure compliance with other national regulations. In developing countries and emerging economies, unreasonably complex non-tariff barriers often restrict trade. This often results in very long and complicated administrative procedures, special licensing requirements, or difficulties in proving compliance with product standards. Trade facilitation aims to reduce these barriers and to simplify all relevant procedures. The goal? To make cross-border trade faster, less bureaucratic, and more transparent. Trade facilitation therefore reduces trade costs and increases the competitiveness of goods from developing countries on international markets. Germany, as one of the founding states of the EU and one of the leading nations in international trade, has wide-ranging experience in the lowering of trade barriers and the integration into regional and international markets. Building on this experience, the German Development Cooperation has developed a comprehensive approach towards trade facilitation for its partners. One thing is key: all relevant stakeholders must be involved. These include government institutions such as customs authorities and ministries, the private sector and, last but not least, civil society. German development cooperation regards itself as an honest broker between the sometimes differing interests of these various stakeholders. Just as diverse as the stakeholders are the activities of German development cooperation in the field of trade facilitation. 5 areas are of particular importance. Policy advice on trade facilitation. Coordination and linking up of actors. Advisory services and technical assistance in the simplification of customs processes. Advisory services in the area of regulatory quality and safety standards, as well as advice on transportation, regulation and infrastructure. With our broad experience, we actively support trade facilitation in many ways across the globe. It is of great importance to us that trade-related problems be tackled across national borders with tailor-made solutions. Therefore, German development cooperation often supports entire regions rather than individual countries in their efforts to reduce trade barriers. In Central Asia, we supported our partners in modernising national standards organisations. In addition, procedures for the verification of standards were simplified. At the borders, we promoted the implementation of a single window system. This one-stop shop allows a trader to take care of all necessary export formalities at a single location, making the exporting of goods simpler and faster. As a result, Central Asian products such as apricots now have much improved access to the world market. In the ECOWAS region, we are assisting in the implementation of the ECOWAS Trade Liberalisation Scheme, or ETLS in short. Thanks to the ETLS, regional agricultural and industrial products can be traded duty-free within the economic community. Bureaucratic obstacles are also reduced. To achieve this goal, key actors such as national customs authorities, the private sector, and civil society are being trained in the application of ETLS regulations. In addition, we are continuously supporting the ECOWAS Commission to improve ETLS regulations in cooperation with the private sector. Through the ETLS, trade barriers in the ECOWAS region are being reduced, which improves the conditions for regional trade. Reducing trade barriers lowers trading costs, enabling developing countries to make better use of the opportunities that global trade offers. Through economic growth and job creation, this improves the opportunities for personal development for each and every individual.